Welcome back everyone for another Infamous 177 Gaming YouTube video. Today we are here to talk about a new Warlock exotic chess piece that is new to Destiny 2 Forsaken expansion. It is called the Phoenix Protocol. It is for the Attunement of Grace subclass tree in the Solar subclass path for the Warlock. The exotic perk is called Battle Hearth. Kills and assists you make while standing in your Well of Radiance return super energy. I would liken this to the Skull of Dire Amkara for the Void Walker subclass tree, or the Orpheus Rig for the Void Night Stalker subclass of the Hunter, in that you can basically have unlimited super with this chess piece. It is infinite supers for days, as long as you have enough ads around to kill or get assists on. So while you're standing in your Well of Radiance super, any kills you get will return a portion of super energy to your bar, and any assists will return a smaller portion of energy to your super bar. If done correctly, by the time your super runs out and your Well of Radiance is ready to disappear, you will have a brand new one charged up and ready to throw down. Now all these other perks on here are random. I don't know if you can get, this one rolled with mobility and recovery. I don't know if you can get anything different on that. So Phoenix Protocol, do not grieve the dying star. Its death kindles newer life, and thus the wheel turns again. Warlocks are edging in on Titan territory, I tell you. What do you mean? Well, first, I started losing fistfights with them in the Crucible. That's an affront to everything Titans stand for. If Wei Ning were here, she'd die of shame. I'm sure she'd be thrilled, honestly. That's beside the point. This thing with the fancy rift, it's basically Ward of Dawn. It doesn't block ballistics, but it does everything else. It's the same thing as Ward we had before the Red Legions. It's outright plagiaristic. It doesn't blind people either. Won't you just let me have my outrage? Bungie basically poking a little fun at the fact that they gave the Warlock in Destiny 2 a lot of the abilities that the Bubble Titans had in Destiny 1. Much to some of my friends' dismay. But I think it's more at home on a Warlock anyway. The Warlock is supposed to be the wizard kind of class, so I think it's more at home on them, more of a support class. Now, this chess piece, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it too much for Crucible. I would say it's great in Gambit, which is a mix of Crucible and PvE, if anybody that plays it knows. And in PvE, it is simply amazing. The only time that you're not going to get your super back when using this is if you don't have enough enemies. So you don't want to pop this super when you only have 2 or 3 enemies around. You want to pop it when you have large groups. Here you see me running Blindwell Tier 1 by myself to make sure that I'm getting enough kills. Now I don't usually use it when I'm in groups on Tier 1 because there seems to be less ads. I'll use it on all of the, or not on Tier 1 rather, on the first phase of a Blindwell run. Like this first room here where you pop the charges in. I'll usually pop it on all the phases when you're going around the room to the different bubbles, and on obviously on the boss phase. If you run out of ads to kill or get assists on, or if the people around you are killing the ads too quickly and you're not able to get enough kills, that's the only downside to it. In that case, you might only get half a super back or something like that, if you can call that a downside. I mean, getting half your super back is still phenomenal. You'll see here I'm just shy of getting a new super, so I'll just pop a rift. Wait a second, and there we go. Now I got my super, now I'll pop it. It's amazing. The amount of damage that you can tank while you're in one of these things too is pretty ridiculous. I was in the Crucible one time, messing around with it when the expansion was new, and I got Titan slammed by an Arc Titan, and I actually survived the initial hit. I died because me and him were both standing there looking at each other like, Hey, how are you still alive? And then he shotgunned me. But I did survive the initial hit. Now, one thing to note, you'll notice I'm not holding a gun in my hand right now in this clip. There is some kind of a weird camera glitch that I'm hoping Bungie will patch. And it only ever seems to happen to me when I'm running the Well of Radiance. When you pop the super and you rapidly switch between guns, some way, somehow, the camera gets all goofed up, and you'll end up with no gun in your hand. And you'll be switching between guns and still no gun will be in your hand. You can still shoot. You still have your aiming reticle. You can still aim. You just won't have a gun in your hand or be able to see your character holding it or anything. It's really weird. Hopefully Bungie will address this in a future patch or hotfix. But that's the only minor gripe that I have with it. Other than that, if you can get used to that, work around that for the time being, it's fantastic. You'll see here on Gambit, I'll just go and I'll pop this right in the middle of a group of ads to clear out a wave. And by the time I'm done clearing this wave, I'll just about have my super back. Now, if you're working with a coordinated team, this is with randoms I'm with right now. If you're working with a coordinated team of your friends or something, you could say, listen guys, I'm going to go pop this super. Let me get most of the kills. You know, let me clear ads, especially the guy that's going to be doing the invading. You tell him stay back, you know, don't really help out with this. That way you're going to get most of your super back, or all of it. And you see, look at that, I almost have it. By the time I get over to the other side, to the next wave, I'll have my super back. And you can do this to rapidly clear out waves of enemies. And then, because you're getting it back, you don't have to worry about saving it for the boss encounter. You'll have it again when the boss encounter comes. Now see, like I said, this is blueberries in this one. This is randoms I'm playing with. So there wasn't any coordination. I pop my rift down, thinking I'm going to get a bunch of kills. And they chase all the ads behind the ship there. And I can't really see any of them. And you've got to shoot them from within the Well of Radiance in order to get the super energy back. So I couldn't leave it to go shoot and still get the same effect. So on this particular instance, you see I only get about maybe a quarter of my super, a third of my super back. But still, you know, that's not bad. You just have to be strategic in how you use it, when you use it, where you use it, and all that. You wanna drop it down, like I said, in a large group of enemies, and you really don't have to worry about surviving, because you're going to be very tanky in it. Another thing to note is that when you do drop it down in a group of ads, you will kill any ads that are very close to you, especially the lower tier ads, the tier 1 enemies. Any yellow bars aren't going to get killed by it, but red bar tier 1 enemies will usually get killed by the impact. If not, they're going to take a lot of damage, and yellow bars will take damage, obviously. In the raid I was using it, the new raid, we only got into the first encounter. Half our team was very underleveled, so we couldn't get past it. But I was using it in there with a good amount of success. It was good for the boss DPS. It was good for clearing out all the thrall and the scions and stuff in the middle of the room, in between damage phases and stuff. So, I mean, I would really... This is the Warlock subclass that you want to be running for raids and, you know, for support and everything. It's just, I mean, it may not, for some people, give you that power fantasy that you're looking for from your super, but I really think it's just such a good boon to your team to be able to run this and not only buff yourself, but you're buffing your entire team. And because you just keep getting it back and getting it back and getting it back, you're going to be able to do it constantly. I can't say enough good things about the super, or especially what we're talking about here is the exotic chest piece itself. The super, you can run it with the Lunafaction boots, and they'll give the same buff to the Well of Radiance that they give to the Warlock Rift, where you'll have infinite ammo for as long as it lasts. However, you can also have your friend who's a Titan or something run the Rally Barricade instead. That way you can still run this chest piece and have super after super after super. I think that's a better way. Me and my friend figured out that we should do it rather than having to switch back and forth between this and Lunafaction boots. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you've got this chest piece, if you're interested in getting it, what you think about after seeing what all you can do with it. I love it. I hope any warlocks out there that are hoping you get it soon and enjoy it. It's my favorite class to run in the game right now, and just they knocked it out of the park with this one. Another stellar warlock exotic piece, just as much as like if I have to run the Void Walker, I'm always running that Skull of Dire Amkara. Now when I'm running the Solar Warlock, I'm running this. I'm running this chest piece, nothing else. A completely indispensable piece of armor. Let's go out there, get one for yourself, and have fun. I'll see you guys on the next one.